Good morning. It is Monday morning, and I'm doing this now because last night and the night before just wasn't up for it. Just things happen that way. But it's been a good weekend. If you guys remember, I was talking about karaoke the last time. Well, I made the finals this Friday, so I'm inviting my friends out. If you guys can make it, that'd be great. We can celebrate my birthday while we're at it. I won a bar tab just for making the finals, and I could win an even larger bar tab, and then you don't have to pay for drinks the whole rest of the night, so come on out. Uh, I also got a haircut, as you can kind of tell. My wife works at a salon, which is very fortunate, and they were very good to me. It's not great right now because I'm got a little bit of bedhead because it's 6 o'clock in the morning, and this is the first free moment I've had, really, is what this is. But I do have 3 wonderful things to be grateful for over the weekend. Number 1, today is the last day of spring break. And that's great on a multitude of levels. We don't have a sitter for my daughter, so she's been going to work with my wife. My wife actually works 3 jobs. One of them, she works in an office setting for a nonprofit. She also is a massage therapist, and she also hosts karaoke on the side. But she's been going to the nonprofit, and she's been bringing our daughter along this whole time. And our daughter's a sweetheart, but you can get a little antsy, a little cabin fever. You can't sit in front of a laptop and watch Netflix the whole time. You want to get out. You want to make a little noise. Excuse me. Morning stuff going on there. So, today's the last day. A friend of ours has put out the offer to take our daughter for the day. So, there'll be a little more breathing room, and then tomorrow they go back to school. Now, where are my sons in all of this? I thought you had older sons. Can't they watch her? Well, their mother's side of the family actually gets them during breaks. They're with me full time. I have them primarily, but on most weekends, excepting the first of the month, holidays like Christmas and Thanksgiving, and then breaks like spring break and the majority of summer break, when we get them on the weekends, those are allotted to the other family. So, rather than saying, hey, could we keep them for babysitting, all this kind of stuff, no, we figure out our own thing, we respect the arrangement, and that's how we do it, We do, if we want to take them for something, like this past Saturday, my wife's family had a big gathering to celebrate Easter, or really to celebrate being together. Let's be honest. We did that, and the boys came along. My sons came along, and that was wonderful. So the end of spring break. Thank goodness. It's been too long. So that's number 1. Number 2. I'm grateful for Election Day. Actually, it's tomorrow, which is also my birthday. But I will not be celebrating my birthday tomorrow, because it's Election Day. And the reason it's such a big deal to me is because one of my best friends is on the school board and is up for re-election. And unfortunately, he's not optimistic about his chances. I like to walk around with rose-colored glasses, so I'm optimistic for him, and I'm fighting for him. But we recently had a very controversial issue come to light, and it has painted the entire school board in a more negative light. There are people very specific in their views who are saying, well, the whole school board needs to go, but there's only 2 of them up for re-election. Let's get rid of them. There's a few others who are running for the board, and one of them supported said controversial measure that has gotten my friend in trouble. But he's been... They've been throwing a lot of egg his way. He's told us he's lost friendships over it, which I'm sorry, but if a political issue is enough to fracture a friendship, it really wasn't that strong to begin with. I mean, I'm a Democrat. I'm a moderate Democrat, but I'm not very good at being political. I'm not passionate, but I'm passionate about my friend, and I don't know the other candidates, but I know if he wasn't my friend and I knew his stance, I would still vote for him. This one issue, yes, controversial, whatever. Do I support said measure? I will say that I do. I won't go into great detail about it because I don't want to get into a political rant. But I do support the decisions that he made. I trust they were not easy, and I don't think I could handle the fallout that he's dealt with the grace and the tenacity that he has dealt with. But yeah, for my birthday, I will be sacrificing all birthday tidings to support my friend. After I get done with work that day, I will be going to a major street corner and holding up the signs, vote, for this guy, and I will have voted already. And then we're gonna all get together and watch the results that night. And we're gonna do it at a bar because we're gonna celebrate with a drink, or we're going to drink our sorrows away. So, election day. That is number 2. That is the number 2 thing I'm grateful for. Number 3, I'm grateful for second chances. Now, in the last few, I've talked about my daughter and how wonderful she is. One thing I have not described her as is easy, because she's not. She's 7 years old, and she is a little princess, and that can be a good and a bad thing. She also has difficulties with impulse control. One could say she has ADHD. She's a sweet little girl with a very creative imagination, but she's also one of those little girls who says, I'm going to do something, and it's just going to be the best idea at that moment, without thinking about it. Impulse control, it's a big thing with her. She knows the right decisions to make, but sometimes she just doesn't make them in the moment. She once pushed a little girl at school. Not because, it made sense, I guess, because the little girl budged in front of her in line, but it didn't occur to her, and in that moment, to talk to a teacher, to say, hey, maybe you shouldn't budge. So she ended up having lunch in the principal's office. The principal asked her, do you know what you did wrong? Yes, I shouldn't have pushed that girl. Well, what are you going to do next time? Well, I'm going to tell a teacher. She knows how to handle the situation, but once she's in the thick of it, it's really difficult. Well, yesterday was Easter, and we're hippie pagans, so we're not, really planning for it, but we decided to go hit the Easter brunch. We really should have gotten a reservation. Well, who knew that Easter brunch would be booked? So we ended up at another restaurant, and that was nice. She was good, and we decided we were going to, kill some time. We're going to go bowling, just to get our yayas out, just to do something rather than sit around the house. We told our daughter, we need you to behave. We don't want you getting too rowdy. We don't want you, hurting anybody. And you need to listen. Listening to us is a really big deal. And it doesn't always happen. It rarely happens. She said, okay. Well, as we're going to the car, she's all of a sudden being very disrespectful. She's flopping around in the parking lot, which is a really busy parking lot, and just not respecting. We're telling her, you cannot behave this way in a parking lot. Stop interrupting me, Dad! It's like, alright, well, here's the thing. We just talked about what's going to happen if you can't be respectful. So now we're not going bowling. Tantrum. But, those were the rules. And we had to endure on the whole drive home just, you're mean! Which is the de facto response every time we have to enforce a rule with her. That makes us mean. and then here she is being disrespectful and calling us names, but she's not mean. What she does is justified, but she's 7, so we have to endure that. So we got home, take a breather. We all got stuff to do. I think my wife went grocery shopping. I did some cleaning, and Autumn started working on her room, getting it prepped up for, it's a complete pigsty, and it needs to be cleaned so we can start packing. And she did a good enough job that we're like, let's see, after, around supper time, we found out that the bowling alley we were going to go to had an even better deal after supper, after 5 o'clock. So I was like, let's try again. And this time we didn't tell her where we were going. So we pull up there, and she's like, are we going bowling? It's like, yes. And the same rules apply. If she's disrespectful, we will pack up and go. And 2 hours later, one small hiccup that was quashed pretty quickly. Just, hey, I don't want this. Well, here's what your other option is. It was ridiculous, and she started tantruming, and we calmed her down really quick. Didn't have to threaten going home. So that was the worst of it. 2 hours later, we're satisfied. Our arms are sore from bowling. And she's drifting, falling asleep in the car. She was wonderful. So we gave her a second chance, and that's the result. So yay for, second chances. Those are the 3 things that I'm grateful for. I am... You know what? If I were to remember them right now, I can't, because it's 6 o'clock in the morning, and I'm still just waking up here. But I am thankful for spring break being over. I remember now. I'm thankful for, election day being tomorrow, and, for cheering for my friend. And I am thankful that second chances do exist in this world, even if we're the only ones providing them, or whatever, So those are my 3 things. And I hope that I hope that, this helps you find little things to be grateful for. And, I think I'm going to keep doing this in the morning, so you got to deal with my bedhead for a little while. That's all right, Tomorrow, I promise I'll be shaving as well. Namaste and blessed be. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you at this channel, Aaron Covey channel. Check it out. And we'll see you the next time. Good night. Good night. Have a great day.